I'm here at the Vuelta, España, and I'm having a good old snoop around the pros' bikes. Part of being a pro cyclist has to be going as fast as possible through the wind. Well, that's what the winner does, isn't it, to get to the finish line first. Now, some of the fancy bits of tech to do this can cost a fair bit of money, and other ways can come for free. And whilst I'm at it, I'm going to look for some lightweight bits of kit too. Now, if you want the ultimate in aerodynamics and clean look on your bike, forget about heat shrinking cables together or spiral wrapping them together, get this. A handlebar and stem which allows you to run all those cables, or hoses in this case, all internally perfectly, so that the only bit of cable or hose you have showing for these disc brake bikes are actually just popping out of the stays, or also down there on the rear of the chainstay where that little Di2 cable comes out. That is as aero as you can get on the cockpit, if you ask me. Now, if you're able to keep a bike nice and stable in some good old-fashioned crosswinds, how about using one of these? A 90mm deep wheel. This is as fast as you can get almost without going silly, so in other words, using a tri-spoke or a 5-spoke, that kind of thing. Nice. Wow, look at this on the Colnago concept of UAE Team Emirates. This headset top cap, look at it, it's shaped aerodynamically to blend in with the frame. I have seen these available as aftermarket products, and in fact a friend of mine years ago actually made one out of a bit of broken old carbon fibre. So if you're handy with the carbon, maybe you could make one too. How about this then, this saddle from Prologo? It's got kind of like an aerodynamic fairing on the underside, and that's UCI legal. It's quite surprising that, I've never seen one of these. And then mounted onto the down tube here, we've actually got a bottle cage from Elite, which will allow you to fit in one of those oversized type water bottles, which gets you basically through the wind a little bit easier. This stem top cap here from Carbon Tyre has a carbon fibre main body, and then the bolt, well, that's titanium. So you can see where the name comes from, Carbon Tyre. Anyway, that's going to save the rider probably, say, 10 grams compared to quite a heavy alloy one. One of my favourite aerodynamic bits and pieces to help you go faster has to be these bar end plugs from Envy. So rather than the traditional ones which just pop in the end, these are actually teardrop shaped to help you go through the air a little bit faster. I do like those. Yeah. Looking to save a handful of grams? Well, maybe the KMC X11 SL chain is for you. 243 grams that one weighs in at, and that's because of the slotted pins, rivets, and also the side plates too. Compare that to Shimano Dura-Ace, they weigh in at 247 grams, so not a huge saving, but well, at this level, every little bit counts, doesn't it? Well, how about this then? An aerodynamic chain ring. Rather than going out on the Spider and having more areas for the actual wind to catch in, causing turbulence and therefore drag, this is actually going to cut through the air slightly easier. Now, I don't know about the science myself, I've not measured or done any tests, but they are becoming increasingly popular with riders. For those riders looking to go a little bit faster in the time trials, well, many of the teams here are actually using these, the Continental Podium TT Pro Limited tubular tyre. Fitted with a latex inner tube, so that's less rolling resistance when you're riding along, pretty important obviously. And then the actual tread pattern is very different to the competition tubular tyre that the riders use during the road stages. So this one, as you can see, has a kind of a file pattern tread all over it, and also the tread itself is a bit lighter weight than that road tyre. Generally you are going to be saving probably between 50 and 60 grams per tyre. Another area of the bike where you can lose quite a considerable amount of weight once it all adds up is the pedals. So these Look Keo carbon blades. Normally they would weigh 110 grams of pedal if you had the chromalloy axle version. However, these ones have got a titanium spindle, so it takes the weight down to 95 grams of pedal. So that's 30 grams over the pair, which if you try to lose that weight elsewhere on a bike could cost you quite a bit of money. Now, marginal gains, they are taken to the nth degree in professional cycling, but this stem, at first glance, it looks pretty basic. However, it does in fact feature a camtail design. So once you get up to speed and you're blasting through the wind, that air is going to have a smoother runoff from the rear of the component compared to a standard one. Then at the front of the stem, well, the actual faceplate doesn't have any visible bolts. Instead, they're done from the reverse of the stem in order to have a nice smooth surface here for the wind just to flow over. What about then if you really want to go about cheating the wind as best as you can? Well, do what the pros do. As you can see here on the down tube, it's actually the cable routing. They blank up the holes using rubber bungs and such like. Often you see bits of tape too, but that ultimately is going to stop wind from entering in there and kind of causing you a drag effect, because the wind is going to be, okay, it's not going to be a lot, but it is going to be going inside there and slightly slowing you down. The time trial bike, they look funny, they've got funny angles, funny shapes, funny looks, let's face it, but there's something about them that always draws me in, despite the fact that when I was racing, it was my least favourite discipline. Let's look though at what the pro mechanics do to actually try and get a little bit of extra speed out of them. First up, on the handlebars here on the base bar, you can see a couple of strips of insulation tape. What are they there for? No, they're not covering up scratches or anything like that. They're actually covering up mounting holes of alternative positions for the tri-bars to be fitted to. So that's actually going to smooth out the airflow. Then you've got other things just tucked away, like underneath the saddle here, we've got the Di2 junction box, and that cable is then neatly tucked away down internally instead of having it out here in the wind. Now, an area where bike manufacturers pay particular attention to is this, the front, because obviously that's where the wind or air is hitting first. So in order to really smooth out this airflow, time trial bikes are commonly now coming with this kind of fairing style system which covers up both the head tube to allow wind to flow around it a lot smoother, and also the brake calipers too, because there's quite a lot of intricate bits there and a lot of turbulence can be created, which in turn gives you drag. Then another area of the bike which helps smooth out the airflow is here at the rear of the bike. So if you do want to adjust the rear brake, you are in fact going to have to remove these few grub screws just to actually get in there and work on it. I'm sure the mechanics though, they absolutely love getting in there to the nitty-gritty of the internals of the braking system. These are one of the best ways riders can cut through the wind as fast as possible whilst riding in time trials. So the spokes on them, they're shaped in such a way that the air exits that spoke and doesn't create as much turbulence as it could do. And according to Xavier Disley, who's our aerodynamics expert we often consult here at GCN, he claims that these ones from Pro are one of the fastest wheels out there on the Pro peloton. So there we are, just some of the bits of tech being used by the pros here at the Vuelta. Let me know your favourite bit of kit though down there in the comments section. Don't forget as well to give this video a big like, share, thumbs up, and let me know which of those bits of kit is your favourite down there in the comments section. Remember as well, like and share this video with your friends, tell them all about it. Don't forget to check out the GCN shop at shop.globalcyclingnetwork.com. You can spend your pocket money on a whole big variety of goodies out there. Also, Lloydie, every single day, he is reviewing the stage of the Vuelta. So head on over to our Facebook page to see that. There is a link in the description beneath. I mean, come on, let's go and keep Lloydie company over there. He knows his stuff, doesn't he? Also, for another great video, click just down here.